you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, don't miss this special video. Welcome to Hyper Llama. Today, we will explore the journey of transforming raw wood into a unique art piece, an epoxy resin table based on the Middle-earth map from the legendary film Lord of the Rings. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. This table was commissioned by a special customer from Las Vegas, USA. Measuring 70 inches long and 30 inches wide, this table will be a perfect blend of love for the Lord of the Rings movie and epoxy art. My customer is a huge fan of the movie and wanted to combine both into a unique piece. I suggested that we could customize the Middle-earth map to create the most unique epoxy table in the world. To start, I chose an old Bodhi tree wood blank with beautiful burrs and wood grain. This is a very special type of wood, known for its durability and beautiful grain. Next, I measured the required dimensions of the table to be 70 inches long and 30 inches wide. Using a cutting machine, I cut the blank to the measured size. Cutting the blank requires careful attention to ensure the wood parts are even and accurate. Then, I manually chiseled and used a deburring machine to remove excess wood from the blank, ensuring the wood surface is clean and ready for the next steps. Next, I used a CNC machine to flatten the surface of the wood blank, ensuring smoothness. The CNC machine helps create an ideal flat surface for pouring epoxy. After that, I used an air blower to blow off wood dust and clean the surface, removing all dirt and wood debris. Finally, I used a grinder to manually sand the blank, ensuring all edges are perfect and smooth, ready for the epoxy pouring step. I prepared a mold of the desired size and placed the wood blank into it. This mold will keep the epoxy from spilling out and help shape the table. Next, I evenly spread clear resin over the wood surface to coat the wood and prevent air bubbles from escaping from the blank. This step is crucial to ensure no air bubbles appear in the final epoxy layer, helping the table surface remain clear and beautiful. This table will be custom made according to the Middle-earth map from the Lord of the Rings movie, so I will first draw the map image on the wood surface. Drawing the map helps me visualize and clearly determine the position of the details. Next, I started creating the map shape by hand using plaster. This process takes a lot of time and requires meticulousness, but it will create vivid 3D details for the table. I cut and trimmed the plaster to shape the mountains, rivers, and distinctive regions of Middle-earth. Since the plaster is white, I will use dark paint to highlight the mountains and other details. After completing, I used a vacuum cleaner to suck up the excess plaster, ensuring the details are clear and sharp. Let the plaster dry for 10-12 hours to prepare for the next steps. Next, I spread layers of sand to create the sea surface. These sand layers will create a natural texture for the sea surface and make the table more vivid. After that, I poured layers of blue glue with different shades to create a gradient effect, realistically depicting the color of the sea. These glue layers will create depth and color effects like real seawater. Using a clear glue layer to cover and fix the colors, I continued pouring dark resin into the grooves of the table edges, creating deep water areas and shadow effects. Next, I poured white resin to prepare for wave creation. I sprinkled more sand in the lower parts of the table, creating a coastal effect. Using a brush and a heat gun, I created realistic waves, bringing a sense of movement to the table surface. To make the snowy mountains as realistic as possible, I used white paint to color the mountain peaks. Continuing to create the second wave with the heat gun and spraying more green paint at the mountain bases for a moss effect. Let it dry overnight to continue the table making process the next day. To continue sprinkling sand and moss for the table, I need to cover the entire terrain with a clear resin layer beforehand. This glue layer helps fix the details and create durability for the surface. Based on the imagined terrain of Middle-earth, I added sand, moss, trees, and snow to best match the customer's idea. This process requires meticulousness and takes a lot of time, but it will create a vivid and realistic artwork. Finally, I poured a clear resin layer over the surface. There will always be bubbles when pouring glue, so I will use a heat gun to remove them. Pour glue over the wood table surface and spread it evenly, continuing to use the heat gun to remove remaining bubbles. Since this table uses a lot of epoxy resin, it needs to wait about 48 hours to dry and be demolded. After the glue dries, I move the table to the cutting and grinding area. Using a router, I sand the edges smooth, ensuring all edges of the table are perfect and smooth. Finally, I used epoxy glue to make the table surface shiny again, creating a bright and beautiful surface. Finally, the epoxy table with the Lord of the Rings theme is complete. This is the result of many hours of work and meticulous attention to detail. I am very proud of this piece and hope you like it too. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Hyperllama Resin Art. This helps us a lot in creating more quality artwork and videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Have you ever fantasized about owning a one-of-a-kind epoxy table? Transform your visions into tangible pieces with bespoke designs and dimensions available at hyperllama.com. Dreamt of owning a personalized epoxy table that stands out? Explore the opportunity to bring your concepts to life with custom designs and sizes on hyperllama.com. Imagine having a bespoke epoxy table that reflects your style. Visit hyperllama.com to discover how we can bring your ideas to fruition with customized designs and dimensions. Ever envisioned a unique epoxy table that's tailored just for you? Visit hyperllama.com to explore our custom design options and turn your dreams into reality. Fantasize about a one-of-a-kind epoxy table? Create your own masterpiece with personalized designs and sizes available exclusively at hyperllama.com.